Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is June the 2nd. Took Nvidia towards the upside today off our previous day highs. The exact same setup presented itself today once again on the exact same ticker. The markets are, of course, back at all-time highs. Let's go on to exactly the trades I end up taking. Before we do that, let's take a look at my P&L for this month so far, up $20,000. Obviously, it's only been the first two trading days of the month. 100% trade win percentage. There's not really too much to talk about, but took one trade yesterday on Nvidia, and then it took another trade today on Nvidia towards the upside. Let's talk about the exact setup that I was looking for. So today we end up taking the previous day high retest. Really, buyers stepped in nicely off that previous day highs, got an absolutely fantastic entry right before the pop up and towards high of day. And of course, right, scaled some at our pre-market highs and scaled some up into our 230 and 232. As you can see, the contracts move very nicely, around $150 a contract all the way up into $4. So over 150% within about 10 minutes, and then making $16,000 on this day. Let's talk about exactly what we're looking for coming into today, starting off with, of course, the pre-market game plan. As you can see, coming to market open, we're opening up inside the middle of the range. What I like to see is the reaction that we have off the key levels. Main watches today will be Nvidia above previous day highs, AMD above 506 for continuation as well. I mentioned a couple other names we can take a look at, but Nvidia was really one of the main watches coming to market open. We had previous day highs. So yesterday, nice push towards the upside. Today, showing some strength here in the pre-market. We had a scenario where we're just looking for long positions above our previous day highs. Other names that we're looking at, Palantir, we had MU, Oracle, AMD was looking good on this hourly time frame. But the main thing was, of course, AMD. If we go back onto exactly what this was looking like in the pre-market, you can see it's dropping here now, but basically coming to market open, the game plan was fairly straightforward. Yesterday, you can see nice reclaim back above that earnings low for a continuation higher. Today, we had multiple touches around this key area where we're looking for a break, retest, continuation towards the upside. So for Nvidia, coming into market open, you can see prices coming back down into that previous day high general area. You can see the 5-minute chart shaping up fairly nicely here as well. Buyers are stepping in nicely on the 5. As soon as we showed some strength, plus at the exact same time, Qs was reclaiming back above a key level here as well. What I want to see was this continue push back towards the upside. So for Nvidia, nice reclaim back above, and you can see nice buyers stepped in. We ended up taking entry on this candle formation, and then some of our targets in this case was pre-market highs. And then we were going on to the daily chart. Other key levels that we had marked out was this high right here, 230, and then we had our 231.50, and of course our all-time highs. So this is what we had played out on Nvidia. Let's go back here. So once we ended up reclaiming back above, right, nice continuation towards the upside, scaled some up into this like 229 pre-market highs, and the next level was this 230, and of course we had our 231 here as well, and that basically 231.50s and that like 232s, and of course our next level was at all-time highs that I ended up leaving some trailers for the remaining position. But you can see for the scaling wise, let me pull this up once again. Basically scaled some up into that pre-market high area and then took some more off around this 231, left some remaining trailers, end up cutting back underneath our pre-market highs here. So that was an absolutely fantastic trade towards the upside. Nvidia, hopefully some of you guys were able to capture this one. Very similar setup to yesterday. This one, of course, was a little bit better because it was above our previous day highs in the pre-market, but nice solid textbook previous day high retest. Now let's go on to the live session that we have for us today. So as you can see right here, right off the bat, the Qs is dropping towards the downside compared to Nvidia, which is relatively holding up. It's still above our previous day highs. There's a couple other tickers that we're keeping an eye on as well. But Nvidia, as you can see so far, right, Qs has a little bit of a bounce. What I'm keeping an eye out on is Nvidia, right? I'm kind of mentioning right here, we have that like previous day high retest that we're keeping an eye out for. QQQ, if we can reclaim back above here as well. Let's play the volume to see exactly what I was looking for. I'm still looking at the 230 calls here on Nvidia. Sorry, let me actually turn up the volume. This one has the most relative strength. That 5-minute range high was nice. You have room up in towards 280, which is that pre-market high. All right, Q's trying to reclaim here. Let's see if we can get above. Nvidia, the reclaim is in play here as well. I'm looking at the 230 calls here. All right, I'm going to try some 230 calls here on Nvidia. This is the reclaim back above with the Qs reclaiming here as well. I like to see now the break above high of day for a push up and towards this pre-market highs and above. So as you can see right there, I ended up taking the 230 calls. Once we got back above, Q's reclaiming here as well. I like this for a pushback up and towards high of day and above. And as we kind of play out the tape here, you can see Nvidia moved fairly quickly. In this basically pre-market highs here, basically, you can see nice push up and towards our pre-market highs with the Qs reclaiming here. And then we end up having a really solid push. Basically, every single every single candle was green once we entered in, right? Nice push up in towards that 231.50, right? Scaled some, of course, as it gravitated higher. And then you can see eventually I ended up reversing. But Nvidia was a super solid trade. It kind of talked about that thesis, of course, in the pre-market. And then eventually, once it broke back underneath, right, I ended up cutting it underneath that pre-market high. But that was a super solid trade on Nvidia to start off the week. Back-to-back days where we both took Nvidia towards the upside, both off that previous day high. So quick little recap for you guys. Coming into this morning, it's been a pretty solid month so far. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.